for the team lineup. Will Wickham stumble? Will they win? All this and more. You also have Birmingham and Bradford playing for the right to go to Wembley. All this and more. Welcome to Game Day Build-Up on the Local Pundit.
Emma.
Hello, Paddy.
Hello, everyone.
We're up and running. Welcome to it.
I am very excited today.
Oh, yeah, I'm pumped. I can't wait. We're both in red, home kit. Can we get the win?
We can. Absolutely, we can.
So, yeah, we're up and away. Heaps of people in here already keen for the match. I'm sure you're all as pumped as we are. I mean, this is a big game. This is a big game. We've got us in third place on the table with Leyton Orient in sixth place, just sitting inside the playoff zone. So big game for both teams. I'm sure it's going to be on for young and old today at the STōK Cae Ras.
Yeah, this is the most excited I've been since playing one of the big teams or one of our friends from the lower divisions that have come with us. So, yeah, I want to get a move on now. This is where we are on the road to the championship. So today is a big day. Let's keep this train going.
Absolutely. I mean, we're going to get the team lineups get released to us in about 8 minutes from now. So I'm thinking an unchanged lineup. But what are you thinking, Paddy?
Pretty close. Yeah, maybe one change. I don't see many changes. Yeah.
Actually, I did watch Josh yesterday. I do watch his shows because he's gripping viewing. And I think that there's a possibility that his tip that Longman may get a start could be on the cards ahead of Barnett.
That is probably the most likely of the changes if it happens. I don't necessarily think it has to, but that's a good shout, I would think, as an option.
Yep, and welcome in everybody. I'm sure you're as pumped as we are. We have, I mean, I don't know whether Mark Howard or AO is going to start tonight. I really don't know. Like, I think Howard, but I'm not certain.
Yeah, that's one of the big questions. Certainly, I think Howard's going to play.
Yeah.
I think I think it's his spot for the time being, until he makes a big mess up. But look, safe hands so far. Let's give him his props. He's done what we needed when he stepped up. So long may it continue. I don't really care as long as we get clean sheets and wins. You know.
No, exactly right. I am expecting J-Rod and Sam Smith up front to continue to try and gel.
Yeah. Look, Jay needs a goal. He's still waiting on his goal.
Yep. And then also through the midfield, probably Dobbo, Rathbone, and Matty James.
Yeah, pretty much unchanged, I would think. Yeah. I don't think Cannon is going to jump in. Maybe, but I doubt it.
But he's been playing well, and he scored.
He has been playing well, absolutely. Matches. Yeah, I don't think it's going to jump him in ahead of who we have, though. I think that's an almost set for the moment, unless there's issues, unless there's niggles or training problems or whatever, you know.
And just remember, we have an extra day's rest before the weekend game. We don't play till Sunday.
Yes, exactly. Extra time there, so more training on the ground. We're going to need these players to come in, but I think Parky is happy that they can sub in when needed. But the same happened last season towards the end. After January, the team started to set itself, and it didn't change that much. I can see that starting to happen now. And he does sometimes like to play his players right until they break. So not too many rests, I think.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. I mean, we've got 16 league matches to go. I would say we've got 2 Virtue Cup games to go, Paddy.
That's a certainty. Absolute certainty.
Yeah. Well, on that note, like, we do know that obviously that Birmingham do play Bradford later this morning. They kick off a little bit later.
That will certainly be interested. Interesting. Can we see an upset? Birmingham do sometimes like to win by 1 goal, which is not the safest thing to be doing.
No, I think they'll towel up Bradford pretty well. I think like 3-0 or something like that is my prediction for their game later today. And I have the team list should be coming out any second now.
Yeah, I have theirs come up here.
You do? Excellent. Well,
Yeah,
when you're
theirs
ready,
popped up, so I'm doing it right now
okay.
as we speak. Boom. Okay, mine is ready. How about yours? Are we going to go Wrexham first, just to see who's there?
No, I
And
think
then
we'll do Leyton Orient first.
okay.
We'll do Leyton Orient first. So, being coached obviously by Richie Wellens is their coach. And well, Paddy's seen that. Paddy, would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna have a quick scoos here, Sweeney.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, I'll go first.
Okay.
That way you're doing your thing. So I get to start. I get to start with Josh Keeley, who is their keeper, and he is 21 years old, and he has had 13 clean sheets this season. So that's pretty good for him, and he's played 20 of their 30 matches. So good young keeper, and he's only had to face 1 penalty shot, and he saved it. But he's also, interestingly, had 4 yellow cards, which is unusual for a keeper. So that's quite interesting. But, you know, his matrix on player traits looks very good. So nice, strong player. And I think, you know, we're going to do well to cause him some trouble this evening. He's Irish. So, you know, let's hope he's got some slippery fingers.
Yeah, I don't really care if he's Irish. He's on the other team. There's no love lost with home country advantage here, because everyone has their own home country.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so next,
well,
are we going on? Yeah.
Yeah, you've got Jaden Sweeney.
Where the hell is he going? Sorry, guys. Jaden Sweeney. There we go. Right. He is 173, 23 years old only. Prefers his left foot, left wing back, and that's where he's playing today. Okay. So the stats, here we go. I can't see his stats. Why am I messing this up today? 90% aerial duels won, 95% defensive actions, goals 75%, shot attempts 35, touches 55. Very dangerous for a left wing back. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He has 1 goal only though, but he's going to be bouncing shots in. He has 3 yellow cards, average rating 7. So pretty decent.
Pretty decent. Another young player, 23 years old. And now we get into the old guys of the squad. Poor old Jack Simpson, nearly ready for retirement at 28 years old. He normally plays centre back, and his preferred foot is he's a left-footed centre back, 178 centimetres tall, wears number 4. He is 81%. So, yeah, 178 centimetres. So not that tall, only like about 5'10", 5'11", but 81% of aerial duels won. So he's obviously quite good at getting good body position and getting himself into good position to beat his opposition attackers. So hopefully Sam Smith and J-Rod can cause him some trouble this evening if they're in our starting lineup. Now, he has only played 14 matches for them this season and only started in 7 of them. So he's obviously just cementing his spot now. His average rating 6.86, and he's had 1 yellow card and no red cards. So not a bad player, but obviously just cementing his spot in the side now.
Okay. So next up is Hape in defense. He is left-footed, 195, nice and tall. 2 goals, 2 assists. Started 21 matches. So very solid CB there. 7.1 rating, nice and high for him. So we'll have to watch that for the defense when we're trying to break them down. 3 yellow cards, only pretty standard. 96% aerial duels won, which is what you would want. His defensive actions only 54%, goals 84, and shot attempts 77. So he's good on the aerial duels. He is quite big, but his defensive actions is a little bit low. So maybe he has some weaknesses there.
Yeah. Hopefully, fingers crossed for us. Anyway, then we get into them. We're definitely into their midfielders now. And next up is Jordan Brown, another young whippersnapper, 23 years old, 181 centimeters, that's same as me. So he's 6 foot. Preferred right footer. He is a 97% aerial duels, 145% on shot attempts. So even though he's a defensive midfielder, defensive actions 43%, average rating of 7, 3 yellow cards. He's played 28 matches, so nearly all their matches this year, but started 23 of them. So he is one of their main players. He's only not started 7 times this year, so looking quite good for him. And he definitely is a strong player. And looking at his shot heat map here, he does like to get a shot off. He's had a fair few attempts. He's had 25 shots. And he's not afraid to shoot from outside the box either. So we'll have to keep our eye on him today.
Okay, so next up then, we have a Randall Williams, a left mid, playing up the front in the 3-1 system. For them, he's 174, 28 years old, so he's getting up there. One of the old guard. He's 2 goals and 2 assists, which you would expect because he's up the front there. In attacking role, he has only started 9. He has played in 18 matches, so he is not their first choice. But he has got 2 goals, 2 assists, which is good for that amount of time. 6.84 average, 6 yellow cards. So he has served his first suspension.
He's the Macca. He's the Macca of Leyton Orient.
Well, Macca has 9 and he has 6, so maybe not.
Yeah, no one's as good as Macca.
So chances created 97%, touches 76, shot attempts 71, goals 90%. So when he gets in there, he tends to finish when he gets that chance. Obviously, he is more of the playmaker in that attacking role out near the wing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, well, next up, we've got Jamie Donnelly. Definitely back into the youth here. He is only 20 years old, and he is an attacking midfielder, is his general position that he likes to play. Can play central midfield and can play right wing. So that is most of the – I mean, he's in there as left back as well, but he is definitely an attacking player. He is a left footer, and he has an average FOTMOB of 7.13. He has played 23 matches for them in the league this season, started 18 of them. He's had 5 goals and 5 assists, so looking quite strong. 67% of chances created and 67% touches. So quite a strong player and definitely an attacking player. So going to be a guy that likes to get forward and push us in defence to score those goals. Good young player, 20 years old. They've got a very young squad, Paddy.
And wait till you see who's next.
Well, the next one, the oldest we've got so far is 28.
Okay. I can beat that. Are you finished?
Oh, this is their captain. Here we go.
Yeah, Prattley is next, their captain. 185, 39 years of age. Born in 1985, for those of you who can't count. He is
coming out on a Zimmer frame.
He's still younger than me, so please don't.
Oh, yeah, not me though, Paddy.
He is a defensive mid, sitting right in the center. He is their captain. He has no goals, no assists. He has only started 14. and played 21 matches in the season so far. So he is the old guard, and he's obviously been pulled out for this match. He's maybe needed. So that'll be an interesting one. Old head, but maybe tired legs. Let's see. He has a 6.88 rating, which is not too bad, fairly solid. 5 yellow cards, so he has managed to serve a suspension for not playing every match. He has 96% aerial duels won, 83% defensive actions. He is a defensive mid, but everything else is pretty low. 0% on goals, 15% shot attempts, touches 3%, and 10% chances created. So
Okay,
that's an interesting one.
that is an interesting one. So next up, we're going to Sonny Perkins. So let's have a look here. Sonny Perkins, 178 centimeters tall, 21 years old. So straight back into the young guys. So it looks like Prattley's just got all the kids for school and taken them out for a game of football. He is, interestingly enough, an average FOTMOB rating of 6.64. His preferred position is right wing. He literally has played 21 matches, only started 9 of them so far. So he's been involved in more than two-thirds of their matches, only started 9 matches, but he's in the starting lineup today. Only had 1 yellow card. So good young player. Again, he's scored 4 goals for them this season, 2 assists. So he is looking like as part of their attack, he is a preferred left footer, and he literally is a guy that likes to get into the box looking at his heat map here. So I would say that this is a guy we're going to have to look out for making those runs into the box.
Yes, and our next player is also very interesting. We have Ethan Galbraith, 175. He's 23 years of age, preferred right footer. He plays a lot of different positions. He plays right back, he plays defensive mid, and then he plays at the front left wing, in the middle, and on the right wing. Now, in the last 2 matches, he has played up the front on the right wing and on the right back position as well. Now, today, I'm guessing he's going to be up on the right wing because I think he is. Markande is on the bench today, who normally takes that position as well. So I'm assuming Galbraith's going to take the attacking position today. Now, he has 5 goals and 5 assists, even though he also sometimes plays defensively. Started 25 matches and played in 27. So he plays in almost every match. Shot attempts 85%, goals 98%. So if you let him in to get on target, he seems to score. 66% chances created, 37% aerial duels, touches 30%. He's one to watch if he's in attack today, absolutely, and I think he will be.
And just quickly, before we get on to the striker, Steve Barton is called it lettuce of the match, $50. Thank you very much, Steve, for Paddy, for lettuce of the match. That's some good lettuce, Paddy, $50.
Well, it looks nice when you have a shower and you primp yourself up. And just in case anyone was wondering, I also smell really nice today.
And look, Steve clearly appreciates it. Thank you so much, Steve, for the super chat. Really, really do appreciate it.
Thanks, Dave.
That's fantastic. Well, I mean, look, and then last but not least, Charlie Kelman, who is 23 years old again, 6 foot. He's a striker. He has been their main point up front, and he has scored 9 goals so far this season with 3 assists. He started 23 out of their 30 matches. He's had 3 yellow cards. He's got an average FOTMOB rating of 6.65. This guy is their main point of attack. Holy dooly. When I look at his season shot map, Paddy, there's only about 9 shots outside the box, and then there is an absolute out of a total of 66. The rest of there's a whole heat map inside the box of this guy just getting in there going for goals. and he's only scored one goal from outside the box, and it was in the D, like literally just outside. So he definitely likes to get in close to score. So, I mean, if we can defend him well and keep him out of the box, that might be the secret to keeping him goalless today.
Yeah, and what's interesting, I'm still looking through this team sheet. They seem to be mixing things up a lot. They might have a few injuries going on at the moment, because both Perkins and Pratley, this was the captain who doesn't always play, they're both on and they play in the same position, or at least they have in the last two matches. So one of those is coming back into defense, it looks like. Sweeney has come in and he has not played in the last two matches either. And as I said, like Galbraith is probably moving up to the front as well with Markandé on the bench.
Yep.
So a lot of changes actually. They don't change their formation. They seem to play 4-2-3-1 in every match. But they do move their players around a bit. Whether that's by necessity, maybe they don't have a very deep squad, and they need to kind of have players fitting in multiple spots. But that might be helpful if they're playing some of their weaker players, and it maybe looks like it did.
Yep. No,
and Steve
exactly.
is at it again.
Yep. Hey,
Steve again.
Can get Aussie of the match. Oh, Steve, you've done. Oh my God. Yeah. And look, Steve, I can understand why you would sort of probably give these. And look, really appreciative. These super chats, fantastic. This is probably the most super chats. And Paddy, I can see, like, you can see who the superstar presenters are in the local pundit. And Michael Pearce, you did ask earlier around AO and Hipcam has mentioned there. We haven't gone through our teams yet, but it is coming, and we're about to get into it now because I am going to bring up the Wrexham team any second now. Here we go. Boom. Here we go. Well, what have we got? Let's have a look.
Howard,
Brunt, Cleworth, O'Connell at the back, Barnett, McLean on the wings, Matty James, Dobson, Rathbone, Smith, Rodriguez, all unchanged. What a shock, Parky. Who's on the bench? Okonkwo, Rev made the bench, Scar made the bench, Longman, Cannon, Fletcher, Mac. That's the same bench too, Paddy.
Same bench as well. Exact. Yeah.
There we go. Well, big shout out to Parky for making our
Color
job
me
pretty easy.
surprised. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Paddy, you mentioned this. Is Howard number one?
It appears so for now.
So, I mean, he did get to sit on the sun deck chair against Northampton.
He did, yeah. I don't expect that to be happening tonight.
It's going to be a tougher test this evening.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be a tougher test. I mean, look, I think Brunt has been the form player of the last 2 or 3 matches. He has played extremely well. If you had to put together every player's last 3 matches together and average out those ratings, I wouldn't be surprised if Brunt is our number one there. I mean, Cleworth played well. O'Connell, I put my hand, I'm a Scar fan. I put my hand up. O'Connell played excellent last match. His long crosses, his management of the defence was excellent. So I was very happy with him in the last match.
Yeah, when he first came in, we all saw the talent he had, and we were saying he's the better player. But Parky stuck to his guns and he said, no, until the defence is what I want, you're not getting to play. Now, if we put him in early and said, okay, we're going to play him until he's ready because he's good enough, maybe our defence would never have gotten to where it needs to be. Now, we may have still won matches with extra goals, with extra attack, but that's Parky's style. He wants the defence to be top-notch first. And now Brunt is playing his way in. as the better attacking option once he got his defense together. And a few other players who are not getting time should learn that lesson. Is if you want to play, you better improve your defense, because there's a few that are potentially being kept out for that reason. Now it's settled. It's not as much as it was previously, but that's not the first time we have mentioned this.
No. I'll just quickly, I've got a point I've got to talk to you about that. But Hip Karma, yeah, thank you. Remember to like and subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. She's really pleased that Cal Burton's back on the grass at training, which is fantastic. And Nick Donnellan is standing up for Hip Karma for winning Aussie of the match. And I tell you what, if I'm beating Hip Karma, I must be doing well, because I think there's no doubt that she's probably better than I am. But Lewis Brunt, do you remember back earlier in the season, Paddy, when Lewis Brunt actually talked to a reporter and mentioned how he was frustrated that he wasn't getting into the starting lineup?
Mm.
Yeah, and I was really, at that point in time, I was really worried for him, speaking out publicly like that. But, he's stuck to his guns. He's worked hard. Parky's seen it, got him on the pitch. So that's good. Someone was mentioning, Chris mentioned EOC versus Ground. Who wins today? Well, EOC had a massive win against the Ground against Northampton. I don't think I saw him slip over at all through that match from memory.
No, I don't think so.
Interesting. Parky sticking with Barnett, and that was the one spot where that, and Josh mentioned it, around Longman getting a start. Who knows? But he's sticking with Ryan Barnett on that side, and on the other side, McLean. He played, I thought, nearly his best game against Northampton.
Yeah, very solid. And it's always this proviso, and it's hard to tell, is when you dominate a match and make a team look weak, are they actually weak? Or did we just play an amazing game? Sometimes it's hard to tell. So, like players like McLean, did he have an amazing match, or were they just shit? Now, I think he did play really well. He did. I think Barnett on the other side didn't have an amazing game, but he wasn't terrible. I don't necessarily think you want to knock his confidence by pulling it out of the lineup just yet. But I think that last match could very well have been, okay, I've seen these mistakes from you in the match, don't do them again.
Yep.
So maybe he's on a little bit of a caution, you need to be careful with what you're doing out there. A couple of mistakes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I couldn't agree more there, Paddy, with them. And Steve Barton's at it again. Hip Karma, we're going to have to share the trophy, a co-Aussie of the match. So thank you very much, Steve, for the kind words. We really do appreciate it. And so now we have, let's move through. Well, obviously we've got the same midfield, Paddy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We have always said it's a little bit too defensive, potentially. But it's starting to gel. It's starting to gel, and it's starting to work. So I don't mind it at all. Lee isn't here to try and push his way into it at the moment. So that's okay. Cannon, unfortunately, he hasn't been playing enough minutes to push his way in. He has played really well when he has, and he has that fire that he wants to get back in the team. So in one respect, it's perfect to have someone like that coming on as a substitute if needed, because he's also trying to prove something. So, that's the kind of sub you want to come on. So that's going to be his role for now, and it may be his role till the end of the season. And selfishly for the team, maybe that's what he needs to do. That needs to be maybe his role for the remaining season. Someone that's solid, that will absolutely come on and give it everything when needed.
Yeah, and when you look at that on the bench now, with obviously Cannon showing his scoring prowess, Cannon, Fletcher and Marriott, all goal scorers. Cannon more in the midfield, but Fletcher and Marriott up front. I think we have a really strong bench there.
It's really interesting if you pay attention to the podcasts of other teams. in League One. Very, very often they say how scared they are of the bench. You know, our bench is so strong.
The Northampton manager mentioned that after the last match, how strong our bench was, and I think, and I was actually about to say, Paddy, that hope that might be the difference tonight. The other thing I've noted, obviously, can go either way, but I mean that Leyton squad is a very young squad. There was 20-year-olds, a lot of 23-year-olds. Now, obviously, that means they're going to be young, pliable, fit. But, also when you look at the experience of our squad, and hopefully J-Rod, the old dog, can teach some of these young boys some tricks and show them how it's done and get his first goal for Wrexham.
Yeah, absolutely. But just before I speak on that, I want to go backwards for just 1 second. I've been called out in the chat. Where is it gone? Here, Carolyn HR. Paddy, watch the triple threat or extended highlights again. Barnett was terrible. I agree. You do not want to knock his confidence, but said confidence is already in the toilet. I understand the comment, and I somewhat agree with it. But I did say last week with AO and Howard that you have to allow someone to make mistakes. And they weren't match losing mistakes either. So this is why I say he's potentially on a warning now. It's the type of match where I think you pull him aside, you talk about the performance, you tell him the mistakes that they made, and you give them the opportunity not to make them again. And if that's the case, if that's something that happened, then this could potentially be the last first start he gets and Longman comes in ahead of him if he's not up to par. But I do think when you've been solid for so long, you have to be able to have a horrible match and not insta lose your spot. But that's me. Sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you have to swap them, or it's too big a deal. But none of the mistakes were, thankfully, match losing mistakes.
No, that's absolutely true. And I think he's probably started to feel a little bit of pressure from Longman. Obviously, it looks like Longman's not going to be tried on the left at all because Rev's on the bench. He hasn't come over to that side yet. McLean's got the start. Rev's had a couple of goes in the Virtue Cup and is on the bench to cover that side. So I would say that Barnett is feeling probably a little bit of the pressure of Matty Longman and watching what sort of quality he's got.
Yeah. And sorry to jump topics again. In the chat, we have Josh giving us a couple of updates. Callum Burton update 3 to 4 weeks away from potentially returning, which is interesting. And Elliot Lee from Parky, he has bruised ribs and he is very sore. So he will be out for a period of time.
I'm going to say roughly the same amount of time, Paddy, probably 4 weeks.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
Thanks again to Steve for 5 memberships. So hopefully people can get a membership there off Steve. But if you haven't, feel free to get your membership. There's more exciting things to come there. But yeah, us watching the team warm up here. We've got the white shorts tonight. So I'm happy with that because I hate it when we wear the black shorts with the red top, only because it looks great, but we look too much like Man U. And that just doesn't wash with me.
Okay, now I'm going to drop the Discord in because we haven't done that yet. So guys, if you'd like to become a member, certainly by all means come join us, become a member. That helps us out a lot. If you can't, or there's no problem if you don't, join our Discord. Absolutely free. Come chat with us there when we are not live, even though we are probably live more than we sleep. So with that, I think we can jump back to the topic you asked me about and I didn't answer. So our attackers, we jump back there?
Sure. Just quickly before you do that, another 10 memberships from Steve, and Carolyn has thanks Steve for that.
Excellent, Steve. Thanks very much.
Yeah. What have we got, Paddy?
For everything you do. Yeah. So you asked me about the 2 boys up the front. They're starting to work. They're starting to gel, and I think people are starting to know where they are, how they want the ball, and they're starting to understand how the other players like to get the ball in. So long may it continue, and hopefully again tonight it continues to work.
Yeah, well, watching him warm up here, watching Rodriguez warm up, and I mean, the squad does look really good at the moment, I must admit, and I agree with you, Paddy. They're starting to gel, these two, and even though Rodriguez hasn't scored a goal yet, he has been instrumental in a few of the goals that have been scored.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. He's doing a lot of work.
He's doing a lot of work, and sometimes people only see the players that touch the ball, but players off the ball sometimes can make a massive difference to somebody's goal. And what I mean by that is, for anyone that's sort of trying to catch on what I'm going with there, is they will run a channel that will draw a defender away to create space for someone like Sam Smith. And, and that just opens up the avenue. Also, when Cannon scored his goal the other week, which the keeper didn't even move on, like the boys in the attacking box, the defenders were watching them, and everybody just froze, and it just opened it up. Cannon had dribbled that ball from a long way out, and the defenders were watching the strikers. All of a sudden, Cannon just had this free shot on goal.
Yeah, and he was doing a lot of work in playing in Barney as well, out on the right wing. So opening up options, moving the ball out to where we tend to like it. We tend to like getting the ball out to Barney and then coming back in to the box. So he's starting to open plays that are somewhat expected from the team, not just doing nice things. He seems to now be starting to understand the tactics a lot as well, and he's playing in Barney quite a bit.
Yep. And Steve's just gifted another 10 local memberships, and I Am Luke's father has already thanked him for it. Yeah, guys. So Steve Barton, you're an absolute legend. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. It's going on great here. We've still got, this is good, Paddy. We've still got like just under half an hour before kickoff. So we can really get into a bit of a deep dive here. Do we want to look at the other matches, or where do you want to go now?
Yes, we can do that. But before we do, I have a comment here that I want to bring up.
Yeah, sure.
From Paul Hutton. Here we go. Looks like we have a guest from the other team. So we've said it before, but we'll say it again because we haven't done today. We are very welcoming of supporters of other teams. We like to have you in around, and look, feel free to join our Discord as well. If you are a nice person that just likes to chat football, we're happy to have you. We have a few Birmingham fans that come in around our Discord and are very friendly with us. So feel free to join us. But anyway, the comment that was put up is Galbraith plays right back, which I did mention. Perkins will be wide right. Williams as well, wide right.
Okay.
So Paul is saying he will be defensive today. So interesting.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah.
And another 5 members, Steve. That's 25.
Steve.
We've got 109 people in here so far, and so everybody should be a member by now. Thanks to Steve Barton, which is excellent. And I'm just looking at here now, Paddy. It's really interesting. We'll get into these other matches tonight. Let's have a look at what's going on here. Okay, well, Crawley Town at home to Wigan. So all matches are kicking off at the same time, guys. So there's no early or delayed. They're all kicking off same time in just under half an hour from now, 25 minutes. Crawley at home to Wigan. What do you think there, Paddy? Crawley, the team that came up with us?
I think I have them down for the win. But this is a tough one. Either of them could come out of this. Actually, I think I gave it to Crawley because they're the home team. They are fighting for survival, and they are dangerous. So they take this one. Yeah,
you tipped a 2-1 win. I tipped a draw here. I really couldn't split either of these sides in this match. And then next up, we got Mansfield at home to Lincoln City. Whew, Mansfield, they came up with this as well, but boy, haven't they been in the dumps lately.
Yeah, absolutely. They are really poor form. Yeah, we still have to play them as well. So
they're our next game.
Yeah. So it's one of those weird ones. I suppose heap the pain on them. Just keep them right down in the dirt. I think Peterborough was on one point per match. So there's my dig at Peterborough. I didn't even mean to do it, and I'm already jumping at Peterborough. But no, Mansfield is doing really poorly in general. So yeah, they could easily lose this one.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. You've got them down for the draw. I've got Lincoln down for the 2-1 win. Next up, we got Shrewsbury at home to Huddersfield. Shrewsbury down in the relegation zone. Huddersfield not in a great run of form lately either, to be fair.
yeah, I have picked Huddersfield on this one to take it out. I think they will do it comfortably. But there is a chance that Shrewsbury can pull something off here. When they work, they can be a little bit dangerous. They can score.
Yep.
So once they get going, they can score multiple goals on you.
Well, Shrewsbury beat us and Birmingham.
Well, I wasn't going to mention us, but yes, they have, and they've scored multiple goals on others as well. So they have the potential of being dangerous. I did pick Huddersfield because it's the more likely outcome on this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got something out of it. A draw would be lovely.
Yep. Well, what did you go there? Shrewsbury, Huddersfield. You actually tipped the 2-1 win to Huddersfield, Paddy. Yeah. I've tipped the draw there. So maybe you're tipping with your head and I'm tipping with my heart.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yep. Next up, Stevenage at home to Dadbod and Burton. So they've obviously got a couple of Wrexham players now, and Dadbod has been scoring for them. So do you think they can do the job away against Stevenage? Or no, actually, looking at your tips, you say no.
Yeah, again, I'm trying to think logically on that one. Yeah, I don't think they will. But okay. I did give a goal, didn't I? I'm pretty sure.
You did, yeah. You took 2-1.
I gave one for Dadbod.
Dadbod's going to score, but they're going to lose.
But I think they'll lose 2-1. Is the more likely for me. But I absolutely wouldn't be surprised if it went the other way.
I did go exactly the other way, Paddy. I went 2-1.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all with a 2-1 the other way either.
Yep, I went for a Dadbod double. Yep, and then we get into the two big matches for us for this round. Really, Wickham are at home to Bristol.
Yeah, I see that being an easy match. Is the most obvious answer.
You've tipped a 3-0 win to Wickham there. Yeah, I've tipped a 2-1 win to Wickham. I don't think this is the day that we gain ground on Wickham. I think it's coming, but I don't think it's tonight.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to see that there's a reason I'm winning in the tips is because I go with my head. You see?
I love this because
now I would love different results and I would prefer different results. But I'm actually taking this some bit seriously, unlike some others maybe. But anyway, a win is a win. Calling out no one in particular.
Paddy's getting into all these subtle digs today. I think this is fantastic. I think this is you're cracking me up, mate. I'm loving it. Because Paddy will be the first one to mention when we do a show and I bring up a comment because it's got my name in it. It's just like talking about myself and like we say, if you can't dish it out, don't give it. And we can dish it out and take it here on the Local Pundit. We're big fans. And then obviously the last match is Wrexham v Leyton, and we're into that right now. Obviously, we've been gone the absolute deep dive. Interestingly enough, Paddy, we both tipped the same result here tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, we both tipped the 2-0 win. Josh tipped a 3-1 win. He's a bit more confident, but he does think we'll concede a goal. And Aaron tipped a 2-1 win. So they both think we're going to concede a goal. These boys have got no faith in Mark Howard.
Well, sad to say, I don't have much faith in Mark Howard, but I think if he doesn't have a good match, there's more than one going to go in.
Yeah,
so look, considering that, then you consider the odds, then you think with your head, and then it's a 2-0. Yeah. Now, I would love it to be 3-0,
Yeah.
But play the averages.
Yep, and every clean sheet, you're one game closer to conceding a goal. You're going to concede a goal at some stage, but look, he's playing well. The defense is playing well. It's going to be very interesting to see if we can get that through and get the win tonight. I'm watching I'm on iFollow. I've got it up here now, and I'm watching the the Leyton team warm up. They're in that sky blue. They're looking very Man City, and but they are a very young squad.
Kit check, very boring, very plain blue.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Not yet. So no Kit. What? That's Kit. There we go. We're covering off all Josh's Kit Watch stuff. I'm sure he'll give us his feelings in. And just remember, guys, we're going to be going now for about another 10 minutes. And then we're going to cross to Josh for the match day watch along. So be able to cross over and watch him. And then directly after the match, Paddy, you're up for extra time.
Yes, this is a late match. This is the perfect time for me to do extra time.
Yeah.
I can stay on as long as people want to talk. So guys, come in after the show and have your say, and let's have a long session.
Well, I noticed we're getting a couple of new people jump in. We always want people to jump in. So anyone out there that hasn't been on before, don't feel nervous about coming on and having your say about what you thought about the match. Paddy won't bite. I know Aaron right now at work is coughing and spluttering, telling his boss he needs to go home.
Yeah, Aaron is due to join us. He may miss the first few minutes as he heads back from work. But no problemo. He will be along when he is ready. And the watch along is already up, obviously, for Josh in the YouTubes, and also the extra time is also there as well, guys. So if you want to just open up the tabs, have them all sitting there, you can just jump from one to the next. On every match day now going forward, we give you multiples people. You should be so grateful. How often do you get multiples? I hope a lot.
It's like over 4 hours worth of content, Paddy.
Oh, it's more. It's like 2 hours. Yeah, 5. No, 4. I can't count today. 4. At least 4.
All I said was over 4 hours worth of content, Paddy. All you had to do was go, yes, it is. And have a great time.
Is, yeah. Yeah, my brain stopped there for a second.
We're so focused on the match. I'll tell you what, though. I'm just looking. Definitely our squad has the best letters compared to Leyton Orient. When I look at that, I'm just looking at J-Rod there. And, I mean, Paddy might even be able to match up with these guys with the man bun soon. Now, but they probably don't smell as good as you, Paddy, according to you.
My hair is long enough, I'm telling you. Very, very soon, guys, you are going to see a big-ass man bun on my head.
Yeah. No, so, I mean, look, I'm super... well, actually, there's another game on today. I'm going to call it the Virtue Cup now, because it's semi-final time for Birmingham v Bradford City tonight. The winner goes to Wembley to play the winner of Wrexham v Peterborough. I'm not going to say us. I'm going to say the winner of Wrexham v Peterborough. And what I think my opinion is that Birmingham will do it fairly easy tonight. That game starts 15 minutes after our game starts. How do you think they'll go tonight, Paddy?
Yeah, it should be an easy one. But like I said, they have a habit sometimes of just scoring only one and then playing comfortable ball, and it can leave them a little bit dodgy with the odd one strike and get a draw. Straight to penalties then as well. So, yeah. Would we like him? Do we really want them to lose tonight, Birmingham, or do we want the big final? You know, do we want to take out the Giants? Do we want to be the Giant Slayers in Wembley?
Yeah, put your comments in there, guys, on who you'd prefer. Like, you know, when
look, we've already beaten Peterborough. Like, we don't even need to play that match.
Yeah. When Wrexham go through the final,
they should concede.
Myself personally, I want the big match. I want to play Birmingham in the final.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
yeah. Look, it's the Hollywood script, isn't it?
Yeah.
To get to the final versus Birmingham, we haven't beaten them this season. We lost the first match, drew the second, and then what's left? A win at Wembley versus potentially the winner of the league. You know,
A to ZEV wants Birmingham. Paul Kelly, Birmingham for sure. Cam Golden Gun. Be nice to have one piece of hardware. We're going to have both. We're going to have the Virtue Cup and we're going to win the league.
Yeah, what will be what will be really interesting is by the time we do play them in the final, we could very well be 1 and 2. We probably will be 1 and 2 for the league.
Wouldn't
So
that be great?
So yeah, Hollywood script all over. You can't write this stuff.
No, that would be perfect because we're only 2 points. If you look, we've got the table up there on the screen now. We're only 2 points behind Wickham. So, Wickham gets a draw tonight and we win. We're all
That's
square.
it. All square.
And
But there's still plenty of time before that match. Yeah, we can take that 2 points at anywhere. So
there's a lot of time.
There's a lot of space there.
A to Z dream on, Ken, about winning both trophies. Come on, boys. We go second today from Robbie Evans. Well, it's highly possible. I mean, both Wickham and us are playing. Birmingham's got the night off. Well, the night off in the league, but they're playing in the Virtue Cup. So there's only 6 matches tonight. So only half the teams are playing. Just with Birmingham playing in the other league. So it's going to be very interesting. But looking at this, it's starting to get to Paddy. I mean, we've only got 4 more minutes to carry off here, so we won't get too deep into this today. Just for everybody out there, Paddy has some great stat sheets, and I think in his show, I think you need a special show, Paddy, for some of this stuff to do a deep dive at this stage of the season.
Yeah, we'll do something. I will maybe do a special. I might do a nice long special show.
Well, you know what we need
for all the special people.
We need a members only special, Paddy.
Yeah. Well, now if you're asking for a members only special, that's a little different. That's like serious. Have to ask the wife about that.
And look, when you think about it, we've got 108 people in. We've got a lot of members. Steve Barton's given away 25 memberships tonight, which is bloody great of Steve. Really appreciate it, mate. You're an absolute legend. Plus $150 worth of super chats. So, yeah.
Okay, well, we've got 3 minutes left before we throw over to Josh.
We do.
And you know what? I haven't spoken enough about Peterborough. So I'm going to bring up this little graphic that you mentioned, and we're going to have a quick look at it. Right?
Okay.
Boom.
Okay.
There we go. Now, this is the points per match for the season. And we're going to start at the bottom because that's where Peterborough are, down the bottom of the league. And if you look there are 6 teams in red, and that's because all those 6 teams are currently on track to end up with less points than the average of the last 10 seasons in order to be relegated.
That's projected. That's not the current table as
projected. Yeah.
Yes.
So points per game so far, and then projected to the end of the season. So that it means that we will likely have a lower score than average for surviving relegation this season with those 6. Then if you have a look up at the top, we have 2 teams are projected to hit the average for auto promotion. Obviously that's Wickham in second and Birmingham. We are barely behind them on the points per game average, so we are extremely close. 1 match is enough to do it, as we know. Then you have, as a total, 8 teams are projected to get enough points to be in the playoffs. So the playoff total is likely to be higher than the average this year so far. So we can dig deeper, but not today, because we need to pass to Josh soon. So I will hand it over to Ken to finish out and say whatever needs to be said, and then we will enjoy the match, boys and girls.
Well, everybody, we're right there. We're very close. I mean, in the background here, I can see that the stands are filling out. I have a feeling it could end up being a packed stadium tonight because the 4th wall is open and there's people already starting to fill it up. Paddy, I think we've had a great build-up show. We've covered everything. I'm excited. Final predictions from you, Paddy, for tonight. What do we got?
I expect a really strong showing tonight. An easy home win. Come on. Let's slap them. It's about time someone got a slap.
Yep, I'm with you. I think we're going to get a win tonight. I think we're going to keep a clean sheet. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Come on, Wrexham. Don't forget, everybody, like and subscribe. We have the watch along next with Josh, then Extra Time straight after. On the bombshell, up the town.
See you.